Good day to all. I am Clara Kuninko, and in today's video, I will be discussing about the rules of grammar subject-verb agreement. So without further ado, let's get started. So let's discuss first the basic rule. The basic rule states that a singular subject takes a singular verb, while a plural subject takes a plural verb. For example, the conservationist asked too many questions about rainforestation. Rule number 1. Two singular subjects connected by or nor require a single verb. For example, Alex or Ash cultivates the land for a proposed crop production. Rule number 2. Two singular subjects connected by either or neither nor require a single verb as in rule number 1. For example, either afforestation or reforestation promotes a conservation of Mother Nature. Rule number 3. When I is one of the two subjects connected by either or neither nor, put it second and follow it with a singular verb, or with the base form of the verb. For example, neither she nor I am studying agriculture, or neither she nor I study agriculture. Rule number 4. When a singular subject is connected by or nor to a plural subject, put the plural subject last and use a plural verb. For example, the principal nor the teachers joined the symposium about green piggery. Rule number 5. When a singular and plural subject are connected by either or neither nor, put the plural subject last and use a plural verb. For example, neither the barangay captain or the residents are aware of the kaingin farming in the place. Rule number 6. As a general rule, use a plural verb with two or more different subjects when they are connected by and. To show two different subjects in a sentence, each subject is usually introduced by an article or a possessive pronoun. For example, global warming and climate change enkindle the people to change. Rule number 7. Subjects joined by and mean a single idea for a singular verb. For example, my family and peers shows great support in my endeavor as a future agriculturist. Rule number 8. If the subject and the verb in a sentence are interrupted with an intervening phrase introduced by, including, along with, together with, as well as, besides, etc., the verb must still agree with a simple subject. For example, tree planting as well as tree parenting embraces the act of environmental protection. Rule number 9. Indefinite pronouns like each, everyone, everybody, someone, somebody, anyone, anybody, nobody, no one, something, either, neither, not one, and everything are singular and require a singular verbs. Do not be misled by what follows of. For example, everyone in the class is very conservant about in vitro fertilization or IVF. Rule number 10. With words that indicate portions like percent, fraction, part, majority, some, half, all, none, remainder, and so forth, look at the noun in your phrase or the object of the preposition to determine whether to use a singular or plural verb. If the object of the preposition is singular, use a singular verb, and if it's plural, use a plural verb. For example, all of the agriculturist students were asked to talk about the effects of illegal logging to humanity. Rule number 11. When either and neither are subjects without or and nor, a singular verb is required even if they seem to be referring to more than one thing. For example, neither of them knows about the latest agricultural issues and concerns. Rule number 12. The words here and there have generally been labeled as adverbs even though they indicate place. Sentences beginning with here or there require verbs depending on the number of nouns that come after them. For example, here come the horticulturist, Kalia and Nochi. Rule number 13. Units such as amounts, size, time, quantities, or distances always require a singular verb. For example, 4 school years is what we need to finish our BSA and BSF degrees. Rule number 14. Sometimes the relative pronoun who, that, or which is the subject of a verb in the middle of the sentence. The pronouns who, that, and which become singular or plural according to the noun directly in front of them. So, if that noun is singular, use a singular verb. And if it's plural, use a plural verb. For example, Calisthea is the agriculturalist who writes the rationale of the thesis. Rule number 15. Collective nouns like team, staff, group, family, crowd, army, etc. require a singular verb if the members are thought as acting collectively, and plural if the members are thought as acting separately. For example, the staff members are in disagreement about the field day schedule. Rule number 16. The expression a number of always requires a plural verb, while the expression the number of always requires singular verb when used as subjects. For example, the number of qualified applicants for the agricultural job fair has decreased. Rule number 17. Nouns that always come in pairs like scissors, sunglasses, shoes, tongs, sleeves, trousers, pliers, pants, shears, etc. are always plural and require a plural verbs unless they are introduced by the expression a or the pair of. For example, the tongs I bought are usually used in our chemistry subject. Rule number 18. Nouns plural in a form but singular in meaning, such as mathematics, economics, news, politics, etc. require singular verbs. For example, the news about him is not good for his image as an ecological advocate. Rule number 19. In sentences with both positive and negative subjects, the verb should agree with the positive subject. For example, it is not the farm manager, but the technicians who wants additional budget. Rule number 20. Titles of the books, movies, songs, etc. require a single verb. For example, Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet has really made history. Rule number 21. The pronouns you and I always require a base or plural form of the verb even in cases where they refer to only one person. For example, I need more time to accomplish the task. Rule number 22. Adjectives used as nouns are considered plural and thus require plural verbs. For example, the learned are men of wisdom and principle. Rule number 23. The name of a firm or company, although appearing plural, requires a singular verb. For example, Ronalia Brothers is a law firm that advocates the protection of virgin forests. Rule number 24. For sentences following the inverted order, the verb still agrees with the subject regardless of the number of the nouns that come before it. For example, beside me were the illegal loggers and the dynamite fisher.